Hey guys, this is Jay over at Firebrand Media, and today we're talking about wireless audio recording. What is it? What can you expect out of it? And how can a videographer and or production company help you utilize it? Every production company should have an option of different audio recording devices, whether it's a field recorder, whether it's lavalier recorders, whether it's a wired mic, whether it's a shotgun mic with a boom pole. We as a production company have those resources and can choose to use them interchangeably depending on the scope of work. Specifically, wireless audio recording is one of those tools that we use when we want to catch audio on the fly. The benefits of wireless audio recording is that you don't have to have someone directly designated to holding a boom pole with the fixture that puts back a signal via wire. It's important when you're working as a small team, or let's say you have a small production footprint. Maybe it's just a one videographer doing man on the street interviews in a busy conference center. Just laving up the guests real quick and then standing from afar and shooting deep gives it a different type of look or staging or visual appeal from the camera's perspective. Well, you can't do that if you have a wire running, 10 or 15 feet, or you have a boom pole hanging over the subject and you're the videographer behind the camera. You always want to have a body behind the camera. Wireless audio has its benefits, but making sure it's done right is key to success. With years of field production experience that we've had under our belt, there have been times where the wireless audio system wasn't ideal for the scope of work, being that in some locations you'll have a failure to receive the signal and or interference. Here are two examples. When shooting inside the AT&T Stadium, both range and interference became an issue. It's a big metal dome, and most of the building is built by fortified steel. What we had to do was a channel scan or a group channel scan by finding the best radio signal receiving channel that it could accept. Make sure to do a fresh channel scan when you go to an event at a different conference center. The radio signal might not carry well, so doing a fresh scan ensures that you have the best range and frequency for that specific location. Outside of noise, we've also seen interference from other channels. Here are two examples where interference affected our audio recording. Now, it doesn't mean that we didn't go back and fix that and do a wired method. Again, you always want to have a contingency factor, or let's say an insurance plan. So we always carried wired mics, but there are times it does happen and you need to be prepared to make an alternative choice. We shot at a conference that required us to bounce between multiple breakout sessions. One thing that I did was I tapped in with the AV and event coordinator, and I wanted to make sure that we weren't interrupting the signal of the main stage. Those mics on stage and your wireless lav packs kind of sit in the same frequency, so knowing which channels to avoid was a super important point of their production, and they actually requested that we sit at a certain frequency and not go into the other frequency where they were performing for mics on stage. Another instance that I could cite was shooting inside of a government building where there was a heavy police force. We were tasked to capture interviews of city council. Well, while we were filming, we were actually getting interference patterns and signals from the police force inside the building. We could hear dispatches from a radio call through our lavaliers, which was super strange. Again, I go back to doing a channel scan because you're in a new location. If you're expecting as the production company or the event planner to be filming in a government space where there's a heavy police force, doing that channel scan is not only an insurance policy for a better signal, but ensures that you're not intercepting their radio frequencies, which is a big deal. All in all, wireless audio recording is a big deal in the space. Clients expect you to have the highest quality audio, and as a production company, it's our obligation. At Firebrand Media, we carry the UWPD commercial lav systems that Sony provides, which are phenomenal at what they do. Sure, there are shortcomings, but where there are shortcomings, we always have a contingency plan with wired options. If you have any questions or want to know more about wireless audio recording, give us a call here at Firebrand Media. We would love to help you.